India's rise as a global manufacturing powerhouse hinges on visionary leaders who can seamlessly blend innovation, sustainability, and scale to elevate the country's standing in critical industries. In the specialty chemical sector, a cornerstone for many advanced industries, this ambition finds a powerful champion in Gopal Agrawal. As a CEO of Anupam Rasayan India Limited, he is at the forefront of driving India's leap towards self-reliance and global leadership in specialty chemicals. Agrawal's leadership embodies the spirit of India's evolving industrial landscape, committed to cutting-edge technology, strong governance, and a sustainable future. Under his guidance, Anupam Rasayan is not only expanding its footprint internationally, but also pioneering breakthroughs in chemistry that will fuel domestic innovation and contribute to nation building. Let's hear more from him in our next episode of C-Suite Conversations. Marksman Daily presents C-Suite Conversations. Hello viewers and welcome to another episode of C-Suite Conversations. With me today is Gopal Agrawal, who is the CEO of Anupam Rasayan. Sir, thank you so much for being here with us on this episode.
My pleasure.
So, Mr. Agrawal, we've obviously got a lot of chatter in the whole ecosystem about sustainability, everything it entails. When it comes to Anupam Rasayan, the manufacturing process, even beyond that, how do you go about embedding sustainability in everything the company does?
I think it's a good question which you are making. See, the way I would think about it is, sustainability is not something as a chapter which you can start like today. It is something which has to be inbuilt into your DNA.
Right.
So as an organization, I think I would say a lot of credit to our founder and promoter, Mr. Anand Desai, who, given that we had always MNC customer base, thought of sustainability as part of the process. That is something which probably he started maybe long ago.
Yeah.
While this has become a bit of a, to use that word, buzzword recently. But we have been someone who has been doing this, I would say, fairly for a long period of time. Just to give you some example, let's say when it comes to energy, we have, let's say, 2 solar plants, 1 hybrid plant.
Right.
And today, let's say almost 65% of our energy is green, which means that whatever we produce, we consume 2/3 of energy, which comes from either solar or wind.
Got it.
And our idea is to ensure that 100% of our energy needs, which we have declared publicly as well, by 2027, would be green. This would be way ahead of some of our peers, not only domestically but even internationally. So that's one way to kind of look at ensuring that you are kind of ahead of the curve when it comes to sustainability. The second thing we have done is basically invested a lot on process. So basically, again, in a chemical parlance, the lesser what you call waste you generate, the lesser residue you generate, more sustainable you are. So if I am generating lesser waste or residue, I have to treat lesser. To that extent.
Right.
And the way we have achieved that is that, we have gone, in terms of investing a lot on flow chemistry, ensuring continuous process, which, help us basically increase the throughput. So if you look at it commercially, it makes sense because, I'm getting a higher yield. But at the same time, the higher yield means I am generating lower waste.
Got it.
And which would mean that you have to treat much lesser than what you would have done traditionally. So this is something which has helped us a lot, to ensure that we are able to achieve a lot of it, in a sustainable way. So for example, Cornings of USA have given us an award on these lines, saying that, we are probably one of those companies which is doing and, continuously looking to improve, some of this process through continuous kind of a means or, through the flow chemistry.
So, Mr. Agrawal, as well, when I was reading up about the company, I saw that you all do a lot of investment, a lot of focus on R&D. Are there any particular innovations in the pipeline that you are particularly looking forward to, that you're passionate about?
We are largely a B2B company, and we work with most of these multinationals. In fact, either for their patented products or now even with innovators, where they are coming with new products.
Got it.
And idea is to work with their R&D department, where our R&D department and their R&D department kind of work together to ensure that we are able to kind of come with some of the newer products. We have a team of almost 90 plus professionals in our R&D. Recently, just to ensure that we are up the curve, one has done a decent bit of investment of almost close to or more than 50 crores in R&D alone. And to us, I would say, or to anybody for that matter, I think this is a continuous exercise. You can't say that I will invest in R&D once and then I will, maybe look at doing it after 2 years or 5 years.
Right.
So this is something which has to be done, I would say, more at a continuous, on a continuous basis. I think if I was to use one thing which is clearly a backbone of our company, is clearly R&D for that matter. And these are the guys who actually really make a difference as far as what Anupam is today and would be tomorrow. I think that investment in R&D, I would just say it's not a choice. It is something which all of us have to, it's imperative, all of us have to do it. And that has been clearly the differentiator, as far as, let's say, Anupam is concerned. Let's say, for example, just to give a little more color, we expanded into 2 domains.
Okay.
One is pharma, and second is monomers, which more commonly is known as polymers.
Right.
Which is the second stage. The way we went about, expanding in pharma was basically where we are now making what we call as the key starting material, which is KSM, which are currently getting imported in the country. And this is clearly, the R&D-led innovation, which ensured that we could come with some of these molecules which were currently being imported, and there were no other, let's say, a manufacturer in the country.
Right.
If you look at it, one, obviously it allowed us to have a bit of a niche in the market, but if you look at it from a even country perspective, what it does is that it reduces the import bill for a country as a whole and reduces our dependence. And again, India is considered to be one of the key players, let's say, in pharma, and then having dependency on KSM somewhere else could be a challenging thing, from a long-term sustainability perspective. So what we have been able to solve on pharma side is basically do this, where we are able to now make some of the Indian manufacturers where they can source their requirement from India itself.
Perfect.
Similarly, on monomers, I think again these are very specialized applications. They go into defense, they go into aerospace, they go into EV batteries, they go into display materials. They have a use eventually in data centers.
Wow.
So these are some of those, I would say, very high-end advanced applications which are ensuring that one, we will again have an edge. 2 is that these are all, I would say, segments which have more like, or semiconductor for that matter, which have just picked up. So from a sheer growth perspective, going forward, sky is the limit. But it was because of our R&D, that we were able to penetrate with some of our customers in this segment, which again I would say would make us a long-lasting, with them, because purely, we were able to crack this in our R&D.
Mr. Agrawal, as well, switching gears a little bit to talk about leadership, because we've seen a lot of AI explode into everything, it seeps into everything.
Sure.
And when it comes to leadership, it's often said, what got us here as leaders, as an industry, won't take us there. So from your perspective, what are the kind of leadership traits that leaders need to have today to succeed tomorrow?
Again, I would say multiple. And I think for us, again, not in any order. Clearly, as I said, that investment in R&D and technology.
Okay.
The second most important is, I would not say, again, I said it's not in any particular order, so people. And I would say the culture. I think one of the things which we take really biggest pride in is the culture and the people we have around.
Right.
And for a company like us, in a way where we don't necessarily believe in patenting any of our processes and otherwise, people are our asset. So whether it is in form of developing the talent, whether it is in form of ensuring that you have enough and more grooming, you provide them what kind of a training, and also from a customer perspective. See, the customer eventually has to feel comfortable that his IP is protected. Now, maybe he trusts me as an individual, but then we have, let's say, close to 2,000 plus employees working.
True.
If I'm able to reflect upon my customer that no, whether it's me or any of those 2,000 people, you can trust them eyes closed. Is where he's able to share a lot of his innovation a lot more freely, where we are able to work together. So to me, as I said, R&D, technology, people, including the culture, in the organization, and last but not the least, also is a bit of that investment for future. I mean, not necessarily we are a tech company where things can get disturbed tomorrow and something will be done by AI, as you rightly said. But for example, let's say even in our own field, we have started using some bit of AI. So just to give you again that perspective in R&D, one of the thing which our scientists keep doing is do a lot of permutation combination, of different product, different processes,
Right.
doing the same process at different, let's say, level of temperature, kind of let's say, as a layman, all kinds of mix and match.
Got it.
What we are trying to do is that trying to create a kind of a database of those to ensure that some of the stuff which have been done in the past, and there is a kind of a library of that, it can be thrown by AI saying, okay boss, these are the 9 things you don't need to do if you want to innovate a product, and maybe these are the 5 probable things which can help you get there faster.
Got it.
So it's a bit of a mix and match of to do's and not to do's, which kind of helps us probably again I would say stay ahead of the curve. Last, and which is the most important, which is trust, both external and internal. And when I say external, it means our customers, our suppliers. For us, both of them are equally important in the value chain. Customers' trust is important for me to ensure that I get enough and more business, and the supplier trust is equally important that I am able to then eventually supply to my customer on time.
Yeah.
Because as I said, typically we do stuff for most of these MNC where these are critical molecules which are billions in value. I may be supplying maybe a 5 million or 10 million, let's say, worth of a material to him. But if that 5 million or 10 million of material don't reach to him in time, he
impacts the entire value chain.
Entire value chain. And for that, as I said, like the customer is dependent on me, I am also dependent on my supplier. And which is where I believe that this trust of that customer and of supplier, and of course of my own people inside, is very important to kind of sustain any business for them.
That human element is always vital. I don't think it's going anywhere.
It is.
So, just to round things off, Mr. Agrawal, just one last question. If you were to offer in a nutshell some advice to aspiring professionals looking to reach the office of CEO, what advice would you offer them? I
would just say one, never think of, or never plan for short term. You got to plan long term. And what I mean by long term is that don't try to take shortcuts in life.
Yeah.
You got to do, at whatever, let's say, function or line or segment or, wherever in the organization you are, try and do kind of a justice to that part of it. Ensure that you're probably giving to the organization a little more than required, number one. 2, I would say, read a lot.
Yeah.
I think while there is enough and more of chat GPT in today's world, but I do believe, I think for anyone to succeed in life, I think reading, and again, relevant to your field and even outside of that, is very, very important. The third thing which I believe is networking is the net worth. And that's really the way you can really come up the curve. So to me, I guess one of the biggest things which I do believe, which can help you. Again, I said networking is not limited to within the organization. I said with your customers, with your suppliers, with your investors, with your friends.
Forging those people bonds are very vital.
I think it's basically the whole ecosystem. That is something which, again, my sense is people are not necessarily investing enough in. I think that to me, is something which definitely comes, I would say, very handy if you are really having an aspiration of kind of growing in life. Of course, I'm not kind of necessarily getting into, ensuring the ethics, the hard work part of it. I'm sure that's
of course
more like kind of it's a given. But I do believe, I think some of this definitely kind of help the cause. And I think also somewhere, don't fall short of thinking, that you're not the CEO material. I mean, I don't think so. Any of us, probably when I started my journey 25 years back, I thought I'll be here. And I mean, the good thing is that we have tons and tons of example now. Forget about India. You talk about MNC, across the globe, you would find more, let's say, Indians, than anybody else.
Yeah. There's a great leadership factory coming out of India.
I mean, we recently had the example of, for example, PNG.
Yes.
I mean,
Mr. Jejurikar.
I mean, he joined at what level? It's just that sheer 25 years of making sure all you're doing is constantly do what is kind of expected or deliver more than what is expected out of you. And I think the guys where he is. So I think to me, I guess that's the way.
Perfect. Mr. Agrawal, thank you so much for being here with us. It was lovely chatting.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
A passion for excellence, a staunch belief in the power of innovation and R&D, and a trust in the people that build it all. These are some of the key pillars on which Anupam Rasayan has built its success, and nobody embodies that more than its CEO, Gopal Agrawal. I hope you enjoyed this episode of C-Suite Conversations, and I do hope to see you in the next one. Until then, take care.